whole life, and I grow to 6'4", 6'4.5". But I still I'm only getting a couple letters from like junior colleges. So Bobby Lee is the best big man in the country. They're ranked number 1, 4A. We're ranked number 1, 3A. He's 6'11". So people thought like I could only play small school. So against Bobby Lee, I had 30 points and 20 rebounds.
Yep.
And that changed everything in my life, Jeff. I like to say I didn't get no big time schools, but from that point on, they're like, maybe he can play Division I.
Yeah, that's true. And what happened in that game that sold me, I was there for that game. The ball went up on the board, and Charles went up and got it with 2 hands and threw it to mid-court before he hit the floor. And I said, I'd never seen anybody else ever do that except Wes Unseld. And I knew right there that this was the real deal right there. He was going to be something. And he turned out to do that.
It came down. I mean, it kind of came down. Everybody thought you were going to go to UAB, Chuck, and then you ended up. It was Auburn, Alabama, and Sonny versus Wimp. Which, man, listen, that's a whole podcast unto itself. If we got Sonny and Wimp together, right?
Well, I got really lucky making a good decision going to Auburn. So, I was really close to my mother and grandmother. They came to every game I played, and they came down to Auburn to every home game. So UAB is only like 25 minutes from my house. And Alabama's like an hour. Auburn's 2 hours. So I'm trying to decide. So I'm looking at UAB. UAB made it to the Sweet 16 that year.
Okay.
And they had everybody coming back. So then I look at Alabama. Alabama actually made it to the Sweet 16, and they signed Ennis Wiley, who was the number 1 point guard in the country from Birmingham,
Sure.
and Bobby Lee, who was the best big man in the country from Alabama also. So I'm like, wow. And obviously, I'm not Charles Barkley at this point. I don't have great confidence. So then I go down to Auburn, and I'm looking around. I don't even remember the game I went to. And it was a pretty good game, if I remember correctly. And I said, I think I can play with these guys. And I remember when I got back home, I told my mother and grandmother, I said, hey, guys, I know it's the farthest school away. But I said the most important thing is I want an opportunity to play. And I said, I'm going to go to Auburn. And my grandmother said, Charles, it's your decision. We don't mind driving 2 hours. Because my grandmother, Sonny knows, my grandmother is probably the most important person in my life. And she says, we don't mind driving 2 hours.